Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Smackdown Ring Report. We're talking about the fallout with Roman Reigns. You see Roman Reigns carrying out last week as the new undisputed champion of WWE. But Roman Reigns told Jimmy that Jimmy had a price to pay, and Jimmy paid that price. Jimmy Uso got kicked out of the bloodline. What's going on? Even Roman said this, that Jimmy's going to have to make a decision. The decision will come at a price. We'll talk about that. Would Jay make that decision? Jay had to make that biggest decision of his life. We'll talk about that coming up. Also, too, Bayley and Michin will be in a women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Bayley and Michin, speaking of Money in the Bank qualifying matches as well. Santos Escobar, fan favorite, takes on Mustafa Ali, who's another fan favorite. Which one of these two men will head the Money in the Bank with opportunity of a lifetime to cash in and become a Money in the Bank winner? We'll talk about that. Speaking of Money in the Bank winner, Baron Corbin coming back. Could he grab his briefcase once again that he did back in 2016? But he had to go through Butch to get the job done. We'll talk about that as well. Also, too, Asuka will be presented a new WWE Women's Championship. What the championship might look like for Asuka coming up, we'll talk about that a lot more. Even this coming up, The Rock series, Young Rock, has been canceled. NBC canceled Young Rock. We'll talk about that on Hot Topics as well. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Like I said, we got a lot to get to coming up. But first thing first. Like you said, joining that conversation. But right now, these are the themes of the night. We're talking about what happened tonight on SmackDown. Hell for review for you. We're reviewing it all you. All right. We kick things off with this. Mr. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman starts out SmackDown with Solo Sikoa. Heyman and Solo talking about what they normally talk about. Paul Heyman getting his stick. That's Jay Uso got to make a decision, and he got to make a crucial decision. Whose side is he on? Is he with Roman or is he with his brother Jimmy that he was in the womb with? Well, Jay came out there. Jay trying to make the decision, Jay came out there. Main event Jay Uso, he came out there to let it be known whose side he was gonna pick on. Well, we found out what the side was going to be, and Jay didn't have to waste no time whatsoever. Paul Heyman had promised Jay that, hey, if you join with Roman, you will be next in line to be the tribal chief. I mean, that really don't make no sense because they all are about the same age. I don't think Roman's going to give his tribal chief status up like that anytime soon. You think this man right here looks like he's going to be giving away his tribal chief status after he just been given this golden title, the undisputed championship. Now the undisputed championship has lineage of both the WWE and the Universal Championship, or I could just say the WWE title. But I don't think Roman's going to be giving up that status so quick, so early. As Paul Heyman is. Heyman is known as a manipulator and a liar. And Heyman trying to get into Jay's head. I don't blame Jay on that. Jay's trying to play with those emotions. Plus, too, we found out Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar was in action. Santos took on Mustafa Ali, who was very close 1 year, couple of years ago at Money in the Bank. Tried to win the briefcase when Brock Lesnar ruined his dreams and stuff. And it just was. I think Ali's more dedicated and more focused on trying to win, trying to win trying to go after the NXT North American Championship, and Ali is a free agent, so we have to remember that. Ali didn't win tonight. Ali did put up a fight. It wasn't always. It was just to make Santos look good, and that's what he did. Ali did make Santos look good, and did so by qualifying. Also, too, we found out that long way, no time wasted. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, confronted and met with the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Issa Rae and Alba Fire. Issa Rae and Alba Fire. Okay, what in the world going on here? But Issa Rae and Alba Fire will get a match with Ronda Rousey, and that match will happen next week. As we tell you next week, in 2 weeks from tonight on SmackDown, I tell you, look for Ronda and Shayna to win the match and probably get those tag team titles some way, somehow down the road. So look for that. Speaking of that, Asuka got rewarded with this. Speaking of undisputed champions, Asuka got rewarded with the new WWE Women's Championship. So going forward, the WWE Women's Championship heading towards Asuka. Asuka now gets that belt, and the belt has been loosely based. But look here, Charlotte Flair returns. Charlotte Flair trying to make claim to her self. Charlotte Flair put Asuka on notice that she wants a shot at the Women's Championship one way somehow. Asuka and Charlotte will meet, and they did try to meet, and I think they will meet some way somehow at who knows, at Money in the Bank. But this is the picture of the new belt that people are raving about, the new WWE Women's Championship. Well, the Roman's belt, the gold belt, but it's just smaller and has a white scrap around it. The white scrap around it looks kind of poetic in a way. But just have to wait and see how that's going to play out eventually, one way somehow. Also, too, Butch. We know Butch will be advancing. Butch will be in the men's Money in the Bank. Butch defeated Baron Corbin. Corbin thought he was going to get an opportunity against Butch. That didn't happen. I don't know what's going on. Baron Corbin got more pressing issues to relate on. Baron Corbin got unsurprised guest into NXT champion Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, a special guest coming in. Carmelo coming in trying to yes. Carmelo came out there to scrap Baron Corbin. Corbin didn't know what had hit him. So I think Corbin likes to agitate and stuff, and that's what happened. Baron Corbin liked to agitate. Corbin doing the same over and over again. That's what happened. Corbin got what he wanted, and Corbin got the didn't get the win, but I think Corbin's a little bit perturbed and mad. He didn't get the shot.
One thing about Baron Corbin, only wants to answer. So, what's going on? One thing about Baron Corbin, let's wait and see how he's going to react to something like this that's coming his way. That's about one thing about Baron Corbin. We have to wait and see how this is going to play out. This Corbin, I think one thing about Corbin this thing full and stuff. I can say that right now. Corbin will have his work cut out for him. He's going to need it. He's definitely going to need it. He's going to need it. He's going to need it. But we just have to wait and see what Corbin is going to do. So, yeah. Holidays. It's going to be no telling. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out. Speaking of that, we got tag teams galore itching for a shot for who wants to be the next #1 contenders for the tag team titles. You see the LWO, you see Street Profits, you see the Brawling Brutes, you see Pretty Deadly, you see the I got the OGs, the Good Brothers. They're all out there want a shot at the tag team title. And you can tell by looking at Sam and Kevin Owens look like he had a consumption fit. Kevin Owens look like he'll fight all of them. So next week there's gonna be a gauntlet match. Adam Pearce had dropped where whoever wins the match will be #1 contenders for the tag team titles. I say look for Pretty Deadly to win that match. So Pretty Deadly will go on to challenge Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag team titles. Somewhere, somehow. Look for that coming your way. Sooner rather than later. You can see that with the tag team titles on the line. And, these tag teams want to put in the work and put in the hustle. So we'll see that hustle and that work put to the test next week. So we'll see. What else happened? We found out too, Bayley and Dakota Kai, Io Sky, I meant to say, from Damage Control, will both be heading to Money in the Bank. These two women will be heading to the Money in the Bank. They won their qualifying. Bayley had defeated Miss Sheen, and Dakota Kai defeated what's her name? Chauncey. So Michelin and Chauncey are out. Bayley and Dakota and Io Sky are in. So we'll see that match next week. So we tell you right there, that's what's going down. So we know Bayley and Io are in. Becky Lynch is in, and Zoe Starks. Selena Vega, there's just one more spot left. We don't know what that one more spot left would be. I'm assuming it had to be for a Raw woman. So any woman from Raw, we'll find out this week. Then too, we told you Butch Pete Dunne has advanced. He's going to Money in the Bank in the men's ladder match. And Santos Escobar is heading to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match as well. Also, too, we told you in 2 weeks, the when SmackDown happened, 3 weeks away, there will be a WWE Women's Championship match. Charlotte Flair gets her opportunity again against Asuka in a WrestleMania 34 rematch. Well, Asuka was the challenger. Charlotte was the champion. Now this time is reversed. Asuka's the champion. Charlotte is the challenger. We get the WWE Women's Championship match next week. Plus, speaking of Women's Championships, same night, 2 weeks away, WWE Women's Tag Team Unification match. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defend the Women's Tag Team titles against Alba Fire, Issa Dunn. I think they could have just let them have more of a longer feud. They could say it for Money in the Bank, but I guess they got to have these matches to be shorter and stuff. But you know how they go. But we know that Oscar and Charlotte is gonna be a banger in 3 weeks, a 3 week bill before Money in the Bank, and Oscar versus Charlotte. You know, Oscar saying right there, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Charlotte said, I'm more crazier. I'm more crazier. I don't know what to believe these days, but you kind of know who's crazy and who's more crazier and more of a setting. So we know. So we know. We told you that right here. These are qualifying matches. Santos won his match earlier tonight. Santos won his match earlier. We told you this. Butch won his match as well. Butch is getting advanced on too. Butch advances. And told you more too that the women, Bailey and Io Sky won their matches. So we're gonna have a Money in the Bank All Star. And you think when you look at it, well, it ain't gonna be All Star, but it's gonna be close. You got Becky Lynch and Bailey. Bailey, a former Money in the Bank winner. Bailey knows what's it all about. Winning the Money in the Bank. She did it before, cashing in on the same night. So Money in the Bank will change your life to win ex Bailey. Bailey knows a thing or two about it. So we have to wait and see on that. Also, too, we told you main event Jay Uso. Jay Uso. Main event Jay Uso was in action. Jay Uso was in action. He's gonna be Paul Heyman delivered for Jay and pulled some strings and wanted Jay to shake his hand. Jay was kind of like being passive aggressive. Well, Jay get an opportunity of a lifetime in the main event. Jay get to wrestle Austin Theory for the United States Championship. I don't even know why they even went there, but Jay got the shot that Jay wanted, and Jay took on Austin Theory. Jay thought he was gonna win till his brother Jimmy came out there. Jimmy came out there to intervene. Jimmy cost Jay the match. Austin Theory retained the United States Championship over Jay Uso. Jay Uso was pissed off, mad, boiling hot. His brother would do that to him. I think his brother was trying to inadvertently kick Solo, but Solo inadvertently got out of the way. And Solo tried to, with those forces and stuff. One thing about Solo Sikoa, Solo is the enforcer, but I think Solo is going to be primed to be the next tribal chief, not Jay and Jimmy. I think it's going to be a battle between the bloodline. The bloodline would explode, but we got to wait and see next week. But you can tell Jay and Jimmy all of them. Roman is fracturing the bloodline himself by hurting his own family and doing what he had to do to protect his own means. But fracturing family members, especially brothers, you don't think Jimmy, Jay, and Solo are closer, but I know it's storyline wise, but they should be closer as brothers. And to be honest with you, the cousin is sort of like a brother in a way, but he's not a blood brother. He's just a cousin. He could be like a distant cousin. But I know they all grew up together, but they could be brothers and stuff. But I feel like Roman is just using this for his advantage. But it's all gonna be crumbling down sooner rather than later for Roman. We just don't know when. It could be a year from now or what. But Roman is champion for 4 years. For 3 years has been impressive. So we just have to wait and see. Speaking of Roman, we know next week this was gonna happen, but we'll get there in a minute. On Raw this week, Cody Rhodes will take on The Miz once again. The Tag Team Championship, Sami Zayn versus the Intercontinental Champion Gunther and Luke Hitweiser. And another Money in the Bank qualifier, Damian Priest take on Riddle. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We just have to wait and see what's going to happen next week in that situation. But like we said, we know this coming up next week on SmackDown. Roman Reigns, the undisputed champion, the WWE champion, returns And he, I guess, put out the ultimatum for Jay to see if Jay gonna join him or not, but we'll see. Speaking of that mixed tag team match, AJ Styles got blinded by Scarlett. Well, Scarlett and her husband, Karrion Cross, will be in action to take on AJ Styles and Miss Sheen. Miss Sheen wanted to get her hands on Scarlett, so we'll get to see that next week. And we told you about the gauntlet match next week, which should be called Tag Team Turmoil, where all these tag teams battle for the world tag team titles one by one in a gauntlet style match. They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna let the tag team champions sit back in the back and watch and observe like they always do. So we'll see between these five teams who wants it more, who wants the opportunity more to go for the tag team championship. We'll see that next week. Pretty Deadly, the LWO, the OC, the Brawling Brutes, or the Street Profits. I feel like the Street Profits, it ain't gonna be them, but they just waste their time. They need to be single stars by now. You got to break up and do your own thing. But Montez don't want to be in the Money in the Bank. I don't know what's going on. Either his wife holding him back or something going on. I mean, your tag team partner holding you back, your wife holding you back, man. You'll never get to what you need to be. I'm just saying. But we just wait and see on that. All right, that and then Bianca, she made an appearance too, but she wasn't talking about nothing. She was just talking about wanting to get a shot at the women's titles. We could see a triple threat match between these three ladies down the road. Who knows? All right, that ends the SmackDown ring report. We're gonna move forward to wrestling hot topics. As we heard that the Rock, his show, Young Rock, has been canceled after 3 seasons. Oh man, that was a good show on NBC. They put it on Fridays, and that's what killed it. It should have stayed on Tuesdays. We stayed on Tuesday, it would have made it, but they had to kill it off. And it was chronicling The Rock's life from a childhood to him being a teenager in the late 80s, and then him being a wrestling star in the 90s. It's just, hey, who knows? The Rock could shop it around somewhere else. Go take it to ABC and see if they want it. Since The Rock can be good business partners with ABC, make it a family show. That's what ABC all about, family. So we'll see. Speaking of that, we heard that Billie Kay of the Iconics, she's having a baby herself. So Billie Kay's pregnant, so she got a bunny the other. Congratulations, Billie Kay, on her impending pregnancy. I think she might have a girl. And then their kids might have kids to be the kids of the Iconics. Speaking of that, Miro / Russo and WWE announced that he's coming to Collision. Miro's coming back. I don't know who Miro's going to target, but we're going to have to wait and see who Miro's going to get his hands on sooner rather than later. But hey, Miro. We heard that IWB Champion Sonata has some mind for Forbidden Door. Yeah, we should keep an eye on Dynamite next week. Sonata won the. He kind of reminds me of Antonio Inoki. He looks clean cut. He looks better rather than what he looked like before. Looked like a snowman or whatever you want to call it. Looks clean shaven, so good for Sonata. All right. We told you that what's gonna happen next week. Also, too, we want to pay our respects. We can show pictures of him. We want to with CM Punk. CM Punk coming back to AEW Collision, so CM Punk made a recurring role on FX by him. So, speaking of that, we want to end the show right here with the legendary Iron Sheik. You can see right here, he put the the clamor clutch on Hulk Hogan. Sheiky baby, Bubba, Jabroni. Everything the Iron Sheik said was gold, and it was funny. I just watched video clips of him on the Howard Stern show, and he was entertaining. So the Iron Sheik will be missed. A legendary sports entertainer, a legendary figure who made people smile, craft, laugh, hated him as most in his early days, the Iron Sheik will be remembered as one of the all-time greats, and we hope he's resting in peace. So with that, I'm gonna end the show with that. The Iron Sheik putting the camel clutch on that jabroni Hulk Hogan, which many people have been told and warned about him. It was that. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show Smackdown Ring Report. We'll see you this Monday for the Raw Ring Report when we cover this for Monday Night Raw. See you then.